Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto, and today guys we are taking a cheeky look at Harmony One, and specifically, can Harmony One actually get to $1? So Chris, this is going to be an interesting yet speculative video because we've actually kind of slight difference of opinion here. I think it can go maybe to $2. Chris thinks let's play a little bit conservative and $1. Now, I don't get me wrong, I would be incredibly happy with $1 token, $1 Harmony One token, Chris. But I do think that a $2 Harmony One is definitely something that we could see just based on market cap data. So yeah, we're kind of a slight difference of opinion here. $1, $2. One thing's for certain though, when Lambo.
Yeah, when Lambo. Now, it's fine to have a difference of opinion. And I am bullish on Harmony One. I just want to be realistic on the channel. And I'm not suggesting that $2 isn't realistic. I just want to be remembered for getting it right.
Exactly.
That is it.
That's exactly it. So, guys, if you find this useful, informative, hit the like button. We both really do appreciate that. And of course, if you're new to the channel and you're not yet subscribed, do go ahead and subscribe, because by subscribing, you're going to be kept up to date with all of the videos and live streams that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. Right, Chris, with all that said and done, let's jump on over to the desktop and see exactly what is going on here with Harmony One, because it's getting interesting, I have to say.
Yeah, and before we get into all of that, Nick, do let us know in the comments below what you think the price is going to get to 2021 end of year, or at the peak of the bull run. We'd be really interested to know. And I've been banging on about a $1 Harmony since October last year, and I'm not going to change just because we've seen a bit of price discovery. So that's why I'm sticking with my $1. But Nick thinks different, and I do believe Nick. Yeah, I do believe in Nick. He knows what he's talking about.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Let's jump on over to the desktop, Chris, and see exactly what's going on here.
Let's do it.
Fantastic. So, Harmony One. Obviously, as Chris was saying there, we've been speaking about this project since October, and way back then, Chris, it was like 0.5% to buy. So you could accumulate quite a nice portion of one Harmony One in that sweet kind of zone down here in late October 2020. And this is a gem of a project. It's been around for quite some time. I think way back in 2019, it rode through 2020, had a nice little peak here, which I believe was August of 2020. Went back into accumulation phase, and then, as you most recently know, guys, it's kind of gone a bit parabolic. We've seen this nice set of candles here just really forming, and we've hit some phenomenal numbers, Chris. 11.5 cent at the point of recording this video, but today has actually hit an all-time high of 12.6 cents. So it's done very, very well. Slight pullback. These things are to be expected. The market cap, Chris, when we were first looking at Harmony, was below $100 million. We are now looking at a market cap for Harmony One of over $1 billion. And that's where things really start to get interesting, right? Because from our current position, we haven't got all that much further to go to get this thing to $1. And I know it sounds a little bit crazy, almost saying, well, you need to get like 10 times more money in here, right? But this is the point where it gets interesting. Once you kind of get to a certain threshold, and you kind of saw it when you got to about 500 million, is people start noticing it. And it starts getting traction. And then people start talking about it, on YouTube and many other social platforms. And they start talking about how they potentially got invested in One Harmony and start to talk to their friends and their family. And it kind of snowballs a bit from here. So now we've kind of gone over that barrier of $1 billion with Harmony One. I do feel that we're going to start seeing a little bit more kind of conversations around this project, because it has climbed up the rankings. It's now number 82, ahead of a lot of other projects, right? Being in the top 100 is a good place to be, and Harmony One is definitely up there now in firmly, in number 82, and I think that's going to climb as well as time progresses. So $1 billion market cap currently, and I think that's going to start getting a lot of attention. A lot more YouTubers, Chris, will start talking about Harmony One. I do believe that. Even though, we were talking about it quite early on, I think normally a lot of people kind of need to see the proof before potentially getting into it, right? And now they've seen some phenomenal amount of price discovery. This is the point where people are, okay, right, this thing is serious. Let's dig a little bit deeper, see exactly what's going on. And then, the penny will eventually drop, right? And so the reason that we think $1 is a reasonable ask at this point is it's all about circulating supply. So we have a circulating supply of 9.2 billion one tokens. Okay, so that's 74% of the entire supply. Now, obviously, we're talking about a market cap. A market cap is a very, very basic calculation. It actually doesn't represent how much money was spent on the project, but just, a notional value against the entire project as a whole. So given the current circulating supply, multiply that by the current price, you get to that $1 billion market cap, right? So it's not the money that was spent on the project. So it's just a theoretical kind of evaluation, if you will, for Harmony One at this point. So the market cap is something that we kind of use as a bit of a guide, but it's not something that you should be considering as whether a project is going to do well or not well. But it's a good guide to kind of give you a bit of a stab. So when we start thinking, okay, if we want a market cap of $9 billion, ultimately that's going to get you, or $9.2 billion market cap is going to get you that $1 valuation in terms of the one token. Or if you think about it slightly differently, a $1 Harmony One token multiplied by the circulating supply gives you about a $9.2 billion market cap, right? They're all kind of intertwined together. If circulating supply goes up, but the price of Harmony stays static, then your market cap will decrease, right? It's reasonable to understand how that works. So ultimately, there's some interesting things that are going to be going on. And reason that I think a $1 Harmony token is definitely something that we're going to see during 2021 is all around, the fact that you can stake this thing and earn a very, very attractive APY, right, Chris? I mean, we run a pool, right? So we can see the kind of returns that we are able to get for the people who are delegating into our pool. Most recently, in the last epic that we just run, Chris, I'm seeing that our pool was generating 19.6% returns for all of our delegators. Now, that's a really lucrative passive income if you've invested a fair amount into our Harmony. So you're earning some pretty juicy rewards, Chris, to take your words.
Yeah, like really juicy. Obviously, they're not always going to be that high. It depends on the amount of one Harmony we've got in the pool. And we lots of people move it in and out, and that can make it very difficult to game the system. But for a passive income, if you're planning on holding one Harmony for a length of time, like Nick and myself, it's kind of one of those things, and not financial advice by any stretch of the imagination, but one of those things that you should really sort of do, in my opinion, because ultimately, why would you not make your money work for you? It makes the project more decentralized. If you were to choose our pool, for example, it supports the channel. But there are other pools out there, so just delegating to any pool. Obviously, the cheeky one's the one, in my personal opinion. But you'll get great returns from other pools also. So it's a great thing to consider doing.
And the reason that we bring up the pool, guys, is all about taking that circulating, or taking those tokens out of circulating supply and getting them delegated. Now, obviously, you can undelegate. Chris, remind me, what is the time frame on that?
So it's 7 epochs, which I think is about 4/5 days to withdraw, but you can move pools like straight away, I believe, or for the next epoch at least.
Yeah, absolutely. So basically what you're doing is you're taking your one tokens and you're putting them out of circulating supply, or not necessarily out of supply, but you're locking them up for that 7 epoch period, which is, as Chris was saying, approximately 4 to 5 days. So ultimately there's less actually available for people to purchase. So if the demand goes up and the supply goes down, the price of the value of the particular token in question goes up in value, right? It's a very basic concept, supply and demand. So staking is an incredibly important component when it comes to increasing the value of a token. If you look at Cardano, it's a clear example of this. Like the world's most decentralized network has lots and lots of validators all over the place, and a huge amount of it is delegated and it's staked, right? And unlike Harmony One, with ADA, you can actually remove it instantly. It doesn't have to stay staked. There's no locking period. So it's actually harder to get a value of ADA to increase via staking than it is with something like Harmony One. So I think the more that this becomes, or at least the Harmony One project here, the more this becomes more mainstream, lots of FOMO, people might start investigating the staking side. That will then obviously reduce the supply that's actually available to buy. And if the FOMO is there, then I think the value of this thing is going to really move rapidly. And I think it's going to be fantastic to see, specifically since we were an early investors, Chris. Now, as we bring this back to that $1 kind of like theoretical milestone, if you will, obviously supply demand is going to be a key element in driving that. But then, the simple calculation between the circulating supply and the market cap, we'll, I think, quite quickly see that $9.2 billion market cap for Harmony One. And that would mean that we'd have a valuation of $1 per Harmony One token. Now, that's all well and great, right? And I think that's something that we are going to see. I'm a firm believer that we will see a $1 Harmony One token during 2021. The question that that splits the difference between me and Chris here is whether or not we'll see a $2. And again, I think once you get to that dollar threshold, this thing is going to be moving up the rankings again quite significantly. It's going to be potentially taking some of those places of other projects. Now, obviously, all boats rise with a rising tide, obviously. But we are then talking about an $18 billion market cap. And I think that is still something that is achievable. And we can compare, the Harmony project to many projects that were around in the 2017-18 bull run, right? And if we look at XRP, there was I think it was a market cap of $128 billion for XRP at that time, which had a much higher circulating supply at the time of that particular bull run. We look at things like Stellar Lumens, again, a phenomenal project, had quite a high circulating supply, and that achieved a market cap of $14.9 billion. So something like Harmony One with absolutely fantastic technology behind it and sharding that's being utilized, I can see this thing potentially getting up to that $18 billion market cap, Chris. I do believe that that is probably the upper end of things. I do think that we can achieve it during 2021. But that being said, we have that kind of barrier, right? We have that something that I'm pretty confident on, that I'm almost like so confident on, I'll be surprised if it doesn't happen, $1 Harmony versus okay, I'd like a bit of a stretch target. I would like to see us kind of move and try to acquire that $2 Harmony token. So it's going to be somewhere in that range, I do feel. And obviously, Chris is quite comfortable with the $1. We've said it many times on the channel. And the question really there is, can we stretch it a little bit further and potentially get this thing over to that $2 range? Because one thing's for certain, Chris, Harmony One is going to be making an awful lot of millionaires during 2021.
Yeah, and we're not saying that it can't get past $2. Don't get us wrong here, right? We're just being conservative, I guess, in our approach, because we want to be realistic. Still, the price is, it's not even 20 cent yet. With that said, we have been saying $1 since sort of October time last year. So we do believe that is going to truly happen in 2021. But moving on further, 5 years plus, we expect the price to continue to increase over that period of time. As it becomes more mainstream, confident on that also.
Fantastic. So hopefully, guys, this kind of gives you a little bit of insight as to why we think Harmony One can get to $1, and why it may also go to $2. And as Chris was saying there isn't really an upper cap to this thing. It all depends on multiple different factors, like how much gets staked, how much marketing gets behind the team, how many people actually spread the word about the fantastic stuff that's happening over at Harmony One. All of that kind of stuff combined helps drive this project further forward and will increase the value of the one token. Anything else you'd like to leave the guys with?
Just great tech, great project, great team, great community. I don't think it gets much better than this, to be really honest. We're in quite a few projects. You know, I get the same feeling with Cardano as I do Harmony One. But you know, like there's a lot's got to be said for the community and how supportive the community is. And you know, both those two projects, the communities for them are just ultra supportive. So yeah, and I think that goes a long way, especially when you're trying to get new people in the space. I think it's really important. So, you know, hats off to everybody that's, you know, making it really nice for newbies to get in the space, because I do think that's going to help both of those projects. You know, with the investors, because, you know, if people feel like they're being supportive, you know, then they're going to get into the projects that you believe in also.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree with all of that, Chris. So hopefully, guys, you found this useful. If you did, hit the like button. We both really appreciate that. And of course, if you're new to the channel and you're not yet subscribed, do consider subscribing, because by subscribing, you're going to be kept up to date with all of the videos and live streams that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. So with all this said and done, we hope you have a fantastic day, guys, and we'll catch you all in the next one.
Yeah, take care.